Welcome to Zebra Aurora Vision Studio. In this tutorial, we'll take a closer look at the preview windows, learn how we can use them while creating machine vision applications, and make the programming process easier and more efficient. In this tutorial, we'll cover the following topics. First, we'll look at the preview-related tools available in the toolbar. Next, we'll explain different preview types and how to preview non-graphical data. Last but not least, we'll talk you through some more advanced preview features like indexes, color synchronization, post-processing, or user previews. For more information regarding these topics, we encourage you to refer to our technical documentation. For the purpose of the tutorial, we have prepared a sample program with some basic filters, which provide us with different types of output data. We'll use this data throughout this tutorial to explain the previews. As you might have noticed, apart from the preview mode and preview layout icons, there are no extra preview tools available on the toolbar at this point. This is because they remain hidden until we preview some sort of graphical data. Let's take the out-image output of the read film strip filter, drag and drop it into the preview window and see what happens. We see that there are some extra tools on the toolbar now. We'll focus on them in just a second. Before we proceed, there's one more thing we should mention. Here, we are previewing just a simple image, which is probably the most common case. Aurora Vision Studio, however, allows us to preview many different data types, like 3D point clouds, profiles, paths, strings, numbers, or arrays. We will discuss some of them in detail in this tutorial, but let's stick to images for now, while we explain the preview tools. Starting from the left, we've got the Move tool. Using it, we can pan the image freely by pressing the left mouse button. When another tool is selected, we don't have to switch back to the Move tool every time we want to pan the image. Instead, we just press the mouse scroll button to activate panning when needed. The Zoom tool is used both for zooming in and zooming out. If we want to zoom in, we simply select the tool and left-click the desired location. Zooming out is equally simple. We just hold the Ctrl key and press the left mouse button. By default, we can also use the mouse scroll button for these two operations, for example, when using another preview tool. Apart from the Zoom tool, there are two more zoom-related icons on the toolbar. The first one allows us to fit an image to the current content of the preview window, while the second one reverts an image to its original size. Color Picker allows us to check the color values in our image. When used with a mono image, it returns pixel intensity, whereas for a color image, it returns the RGB values. Let's see how it works. As we can see, the results are displayed in the top left corner of the preview window. Just like with other preview measurement tools, it is possible to copy the results to the clipboard by clicking the copy icon next to the results. The Measure Rectangle tool allows you to draw a rectangle inside the preview and obtain its base measurements, XY coordinates of the top left corner, as well as its width and height. It is useful, for example, when cropping the image or setting the region of interest manually, and the results can also be copied to the clipboard. The Measure Distance tools allows us to measure the distance between two selected points inside the preview. It returns the value in pixels and can be very useful when setting limits for other filters or measuring the scale of an object we're working with. The Measure Angle tool allows us to perform a simple angle measurement within the preview. The resulting value is displayed in the top left corner of the preview window. The 2D profile tool computes a profile for a line segment selected in the image. We can use a 2D profile of the image to check the brightness changes along a selected line. Let's see how it works. We'll check the profile of small holes in one of the mounts. As we can see, the 3 holes are represented by 3 peaks in the profile. This can be very useful when setting parameters of other tools, like scan edges or scan stripes. The 3D profile tool shows the intensity changes within the selected area in the form of a 3D point cloud. Thanks to the 3D visualization, it is easier to understand the exact brightness changes in the image. The next icon toggles the information window on and off. This window contains additional information about all data in the preview. Moreover, we can use it to manage the data which is being displayed. Let's drag and drop some extra data into the preview to see how it works. We see that the list has been populated with new elements. We can now toggle data pods visibility or remove data pods from the preview by clicking the appropriate icons on the right. Let's try it out. What's more, we can also change the order of data port layers and their colors. Finally, data ports array navigation allows us to toggle an array navigation bar and cycle through array elements in the preview. Usually working using a single preview window is not enough. To arrange the windows automatically, we can use the layout icons and then change the window size to suit our needs. There are 2 types of previews in Aurora Vision Studio: graphical and textual. Some data types, like images, can be displayed only in graphical preview, and some, like strings or integers, only in textual one. There are also some data types that can be displayed either in graphical or textual mode. For example, geometrical shapes, like circles, can be displayed graphically or as a set of numbers representing their various properties. Moreover, if the data type is incompatible with the preview type, for example, when we try to add textual data to a graphical preview, we'll get a prompt window asking us whether we want to change the preview type or not. Data that can be displayed in both ways will automatically match the preview, or, in case of an empty preview window, we will be asked to select the display method. When we preview an array of elements, we can toggle array indexes on and off. This can be useful when we want to associate graphical data with other properties of a given output. One of the cool features in Aurora Vision Studio is data source labeling. It helps to keep our program clean and easy to read. Let's label some data sources and organize our preview a bit. Let's also switch the array indexes off. Next to the array indexes icon, we have the color synchronization. When we toggle it, it will synchronize the colors in the preview window with those used by the labels. This way, it is easier to see what is what and where the specific data comes from. Notice that the circles in the preview turned blue, whereas the color of the circle centers turned orange. This corresponds to the colors of the labels assigned to these 2 data sources. The very last icon in the toolbar allows us to apply different post-processing to the preview. There are several options to choose from here. For example, colorize which shows a monochromatic image in false colors. Negate, which converts the image in the preview into its negative. Divide pixels, useful for images with bit depth greater than 8-bit. And normalize, which can be used to improve preview of images with poor contrast and tonal range. Please remember that post-processing affects only the preview and is used for preview purposes only. It does not affect the original image in any way. When our program becomes more complicated and we need to monitor a lot of different data, we can use the user-defined previews to set up a couple of separate preview layouts. For example, each user-defined preview layout can show data from a different part of your program. We can also undock the preview window by right-clicking the Preview tab and move it to another screen. This concludes our tutorial. If you want to learn more, please take a look at our technical documentation available at Zebra Aurora Vision Developer Portal. You can find links to the sections of the documentation relevant to this tutorial in the video description below. Thank you for watching. For more information on Zebra Aurora Vision software products, visit us at aurora-vision.zebra.com.